You're about to be entering a new chapter where you're going to be really dealing with a lot of inner child energy, to the point to where you might even be feeling like a kid again. And for a lot of people in this collective, it may be the case that you are actually going to be going back to school. It does look like moving forward into this next chapter, you are going to be re-entering some sort of student energy. And regardless of how that plays out for your specific situation, it looks like you're going to be kind of focusing on the fundamentals of your life coming up here soon. It looks like you're kind of in a place where you're looking around at the things around you now, and you're looking at what you want to leave behind as you are trying to progress into your next chapter, because it looks like there's a lot of things that are surrounding you that kind of have brought you into this place of not really feeling satisfied and not really feeling whole within yourself. And it looks like you're being brought into a place where you're going to be focusing a lot on self-care. And sometimes self-care means like relaxing and making sure that you get enough sleep. But sometimes self-care is doing the hard things that you deserve to have done for you. So it doesn't have to be the case for everybody, but there is a specific message here about greeting some sort of goal or manifestation halfway. And for a specific group of you, it is some sort of career in the health field, or some sort of career where you're taking care of other people. And it looks like part of meeting that halfway, whatever your goal is, regardless if it is in the health care field, meeting it halfway is going to require some sort of re-educating yourself. And it may not necessarily be the case that you are fully like going back to school, going to college as like an older student. It may also like it may be the case that you're already, like, for example, a nurse. Maybe you, like, in, like, say for example you worked in the ICU, you might be moving forward in training to become like a surgery nurse or something. Again, not to get too specific, but it could just be something as simple as that. Regardless, it's going to bring you into a place of having to really re-enter this, like maybe it's the case that you haven't been in this place for a long time. Maybe you have been out of school for a long time, but you're going to be entering a place where you really feel like young in a way that you haven't in a really long time. If you haven't already moved into this energy, it looks like you will be moving into it pretty quickly. And another thing that is going to come with really like refocusing on like the fundamentals and really focusing on that self-care is going to be focusing on your financial fundamentals. And it looks like you're being brought into a place to where your finances have the kind of structure where they're not really ebbing and flowing with the tides of life, and you're not really worrying about this and that coming in and affecting how you're doing. It looks like you're being brought like into a much more stable place, both from a standpoint of money entering your budget so that it's a little like easier to meet those requirements, but also from the standpoint of really coming into an understanding of how to manage your finances in the best way for you, and really keep track of where everything is going, is kind of what I'm hearing. Like maybe you're having trouble right now with like just kind of losing track of where certain things are like heading off to, or where certain payments are being made. So it looks like you're really going to be coming into a place of like brushing up on like the bones of your financial situation. And it looks like once that starts to clear up too, you're going to be brought into a place of really dealing with some of the anxiety that you've been feeling. It looks like you've really been like struggling with questioning yourself, and for a lot of you, this is also like affecting your sleep schedule and kind of keeping you up at night. Maybe were already a night owl, but regardless of whether you normally sleep at night or not, it kind of seems like right now, whatever time that you have to yourself, like in your more intimate moments, is being spent really like worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to handle something or do something. But when your worries lessen and you're also not up worrying about like finances and things like that, it will be a little bit easier for you to get the rest that you need. And when you're a little more rested, you will trust yourself a little bit more. it seems like such a silly and simple solution, but things just feel different when you're awake when you're not supposed to be awake, thinking about things that aren't really productive or worrying about things. So it looks like it's going to kind of naturally alleviate some of that anxiety that you felt as well. And you do also have a lot of blockages being removed around like your personal satisfaction with yourself and the life around you. It looks like you're really going to be like focusing on these fundamentals, and everything is really going to bring you into a place of like being more satisfied with who you are. It looks like you're going to be coming into like seeing ideas, like seeing versions of yourself manifest that you've always wanted to see manifest, but you haven't necessarily had like the accomplishments to get you where you've needed to go. So like in a really simple example of that would be like if you always wanted to see yourself be like a healthy and like physically fit person, and then you start going to the gym, obviously that starts to manifest in the physical reality a little bit more, and that like dream of who you could be kind of aligns a little bit more with who you are. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that situation specifically, but it is like that, where you're going to start to see like the versions of yourself that you wanted to see exist when you were a child, and the versions that you kind of daydreamed that you'd get to see exist growing up and like growing into adulthood. You're going to kind of see more evidence of that coming into the physical world around you. Especially if it is the case that you are like re-educating yourself for something, it looks like that is really going to be in like it's really going to be supportive of some sort of service role that you have spiritually. So to return back to like if you work in the healthcare field, obviously you are serving the world by doing that. You are, like, that niche that you fill serves others, and it like regardless of what field you do work in, it looks like you're being supported right now to take that expertise and use it in service to other people. And it looks like you're really being asked to come into an understanding of who you are, and understand that that is something that is so loved and so divine, and it's meant to be here for a specific reason, to help other people and to help the earth around you. And it looks like you're really coming into that place of like sovereignty within yourself, like understanding who you are on a cellular and spiritual level. And it looks like the culmination of all this work that you've been putting into yourself, and all this like refining that you've been doing on yourself, is going to bring you into a place of being able to use that service and make like a craft out of it. And if it's the case that you're wanting to make a career out of it, you do have the Eight of Pentacles over here as well. And you know, there's also like with a divine mission, it's important to remember that timing is going to be really critical. So like, for example, if you're worried about like first of all, don't worry about this taking too long, because there is a lot of indications that if you're not moving forward very quickly right now, you will be moving forward into this very quickly. But quickly by your standards and quickly by the divine standard don't always match up. And if it is the case that what you're starting in the now is something that's supposed to take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort to really put into motion, it looks like it's something that's really going to take a lot of refining, especially if it is like, again, re-educating yourself. That's something that's a lot of showing up every day. That's a lot of putting behind the scenes work in. It's important to remember that you're planning for an entire lifetime. You're not planning for a year. You're not planning for 2 years. You're not planning for next week. You're planning in a whole mission to be experienced over the course of a lifetime. And it's important to remember that if you can take the time to really manifest that the right way, you'll experience the best results and the most gifts from it as well.